What's up, everybody? Life is Ehad here. Give me a like, subscribe, and share. Today I'm going to be talking about the Eastern State Penitentiary, also known as America's first penitentiary. So, on October 25th, 1829, it first opened its doors. Um, right off rip, the place was aimed for total isolation. They made the building look really like foreboding and really intimidating, not only to the prisoners but to the public itself, trying to deter, um, you know, future criminal elements, yada yada yada. But yeah, I mean, if that tells you anything, that the engineers designing the building, their main goal was total isolation, aka hell on earth. Um, yeah, I mean, that tells you what kind of place this was. So, the inmates were allowed out 1 hour a day, so they were on 23-hour lockdown. And actually, at the end of their cells was like this little opening for their rec yard, um, which again was total isolation. A lot of the prisoners leaving their cells, going anywhere, like there was to be no conversation with other prisoners, other guards, anything. I mean, like they didn't want you talking to anybody, like you got beat if you did talk. And it just, I mean, this place was terrible. And when inmates were allowed out of their cells, they were like a bag was put on their head so that they wouldn't be able to, map out the prison and, be able to say hi to other prisoners or anything like that. So, I mean, they didn't want you knowing what was going on there or anything. So, yeah, I mean, think about that mentally, how much that would weigh on a person, not really knowing what your surroundings are or anything. That alone, can take a lot out of a person. Then, not being able to talk to anybody, really see anybody. I mean, this place was terrible, you know. Um, so, a couple of the punishments they would have for some of these prisoners was they would dunk these guys in ice cold water, and they would like string them up and put them on this wall, to display, to be displayed to other prisoners. And they would leave them sitting there so long that icicles would form on them, I mean, frostbite, you name it. Like it just, yeah, I mean, I get it. Some people can be really bad people, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're still humans. People make mistakes, and I don't think anybody's should be treated that way. But that's just one form of punishment. The the biggest one that a lot of people talk about was what they called the mad chair, where guys were like strapped in, and I mean, as tight as you can get it, they put them on there. Like these, restraints to where it was cutting off, circulation. Some guys would lose limbs over this, yeah, it just was terrible. But probably on this list, what sounds the most painful to me is what they call the iron gag. I'll be showing pictures of all this too, also. So the iron gag was placed in your mouth, and your arms were like held up like this. So, every time that your arms were to drop, this gag's going up. Anytime you raise your arms up, the gag's going down. So, I mean, it's just nonstop pain. It's a terrible way to, go. I personally would never want the iron gag in my mouth. I don't know about anybody else, but does not sound like a pleasant time, that's for sure. But so after a while, the prison started getting really overpopulated. Like, there's 2 to 3 guys sharing, a what should be a one-man cell. And so, I mean, in 1933, in cell block 12, prisoners just started having enough of it and started setting fire to their cells. They were self-mutilating and just doing anything and everything they could, you know, just to like escape the misery of this place. Some of the famous people, well, one of the most famous gangsters of all time, Al Capone, spent, I believe, around 9 months here, and he is said to just hated this place. I mean, I don't think anybody that went here could say, you know, hey, yeah, you know, it was an alright place. No, there was nothing cool about this place at all. But, yeah, so I hope you guys liked my story on Eastern State Penitentiary. I'm thinking about doing a little, you know, series on abandoned prisons and stuff in the U.S., probably overseas too. Just give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think. Hope everybody's having a good one. Peace.